Have you ever walked into a room and just stopped? The reason you came in there is gone. It's not on the shelf. It's not under the chair. It's just vanished into thin air. Or maybe you're introducing an old friend to your daughter, and their name, a name you've known for 50 years, just slips through the cracks of your mind like sand through your fingers. And in that moment, a little voice whispers, almost in a panic, "Is this it? Is this the start of something I can't come back from?" If you've ever felt that cold splash of fear, that frustration with your own brain, I want you to know something right now. Before we go any further, you are not alone. This is one of the most common and, frankly, most terrifying concerns I hear from people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. That feeling that the mental sharpness you've always relied on is starting to fade. And what's worse, we've been sold this idea that it's just inevitable, that aging and cognitive decline are a package deal, and we just have to accept it. Well, I'm here to tell you that is simply not true. Not even a little bit. What if I told you that the very thing causing so much of that fogginess, that forgetfulness, isn't just about age? It's about chemistry. It's about inflammation. It's about the tiny, powerful engines in your brain cells not getting the right fuel. And the most empowering part? You have more control over that than you've possibly been led to believe. This isn't about buying expensive supplements or learning complicated mental puzzles. This starts in the most familiar, the most fundamental place imaginable, your kitchen. Over our conversation today, we're going to walk through this together. We're going to gently clear away the myths and fears and replace them with understanding, with knowing exactly what's happening up there when you have a memory lapse. Because once you see the why, the what to do about it becomes so much clearer and honestly so much simpler. We'll then talk about the incredible power of the food on your plate, not as calories, but as information and protection for your most precious asset. We'll look at the specific, delicious foods that act like little soldiers guarding your memories, and how the simplest way to bring joy back into your kitchen is to think of it as your own personal brain health lab. And finally, we'll weave it all together into a way of living that doesn't feel like a restrictive diet, but like a loving gift you give yourself every single day. It all starts with understanding that this isn't just in your head. Well, it is, but not in the way you think. The difference between a brain that's struggling and a brain that's thriving often comes down to a concept we call brain inflammation. Now, don't let that word scare you. Think of it not as a raging fire, but like a low-grade smolder, a constant background hum of irritation in the delicate tissues of your brain. This smolder interferes with how your brain cells talk to each other. It's like trying to have a clear phone conversation with a bad connection and lots of static. The message might get through, but it's fuzzy, broken, or it drops altogether. That static is what a forgotten name or a misplaced set of keys can feel like. This inflammation doesn't just appear out of nowhere. A huge contributor is the modern world of food we live in. The processed foods, the sugars, the unhealthy fats that are so convenient, but that our brains simply don't recognize as good fuel. They see it as an invader, and they mount this inflammatory response. Over years and decades, that constant smolder does real damage. But here is the most hopeful part of this entire conversation. That process can be slowed down, it can be cooled, and in many wonderful ways, it can even be reversed. You can dial down the static and turn up the clarity. And it starts not with a medicine cabinet, but with a grocery list. Because getting a handle on that difference, seeing it not as an inevitable decline, but as a manageable condition, is the first step to taking your power back. Because once you see it clearly, what you put on your fork becomes so much more important. And what you put on your fork, well, that's where the magic really begins. It's not about dieting or deprivation. It's about thinking of food in a completely new way, not just as something that fills you up, but as a powerful message you're sending directly to your brain. Every single bite is either a message of inflammation, of confusion, or a message of healing, of protection, of clarity. So let's talk about sending the right memos. The first and perhaps most powerful message you can send is through a magnificent group of foods bursting with color and life. I'm talking about berries, but not just any berries. Think of the deepest, richest blues and purples you can find: blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. These little gems are like tiny antioxidants, superheroes for your brain. They contain powerful compounds called flavonoids, and their job is to literally wade into that low-grade smolder we talked about and put it out. They are nature's fire extinguishers. They improve communication between your brain cells and even encourage new pathways to form. The beautiful part is how easy it is to bring them in. A handful tossed into your morning oatmeal or yogurt. A few frozen ones blended into a smoothie. It doesn't have to be a pint a day, just a regular, consistent invitation for them to come and do their healing work inside of you. Now, while berries are busy putting out fires, another critical food group is working on building stronger, more resilient brain cells themselves. This brings us to the mighty omega-3 fatty acids, and the best source of them is fatty, cold water fish. Think of salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. If berries are the firefighters, these fats are the master architects and construction crews. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and a huge portion of that needs to be DHA, a specific type of omega-3, to build and maintain healthy cell membranes. These membranes are what allow nutrients in and waste products out. They're the quality control of each individual brain cell. Without enough of these essential fats, our brain cells become rigid and brittle, like old, dried-out rubber bands. The communication breaks down. Getting more of these fats is like giving your brain cells a drink of water, making them flexible and supple again, allowing all those signals to zip along clearly. And you don't need to eat fish every single day. The goal is just 2 servings a week. A simple baked salmon fillet with lemon or a tasty sardine salad on toast can make a world of difference. It's amazing how these specific, targeted foods can change the very structure of your brain from the inside out. And that structural strength leads us perfectly to another part of your plate that provides not just building blocks, but constant, steady energy. That constant, steady energy for your brain doesn't come from a quick sugar rush. That's for sure. In fact, sugar is one of the prime culprits in creating that inflammatory smolder we're trying so hard to avoid. No, the kind of energy your brain craves for the long haul is slow, stable, and reliable. And that brings us to a category of food that often gets a bad rap, but is absolutely essential for a sharp mind: leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and the like. These are not just side dishes. They are the bedrock of brain vitality. They're overflowing with critical nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. Think of these not as vitamins, but as a dedicated maintenance crew for your brain's vast network. Their sole job is to protect your cells, to keep the pathways clear of debris, and to ensure the energy flow is smooth and uninterrupted. A large daily salad isn't just a healthy choice. It's an act of profound care for your cognitive future. If chewing through a big bowl of greens feels daunting, I get it. Try blending a large handful of spinach into a smoothie. You won't even taste it, but your brain will thank you for it all day long. Now, while greens provide the essential maintenance, we need to talk about the powerful little seeds that act as the brain protectors, its personal bodyguards. I'm referring to nuts and seeds, with walnuts and flax seeds being the absolute stars of the show. Walnuts aren't just shaped like a brain. They're literally packed with what a brain needs to thrive. They contain that same alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fat that helps reduce inflammation. They're also a great source of antioxidants and vitamin E, which has been shown specifically to help protect brain cells from the kind of oxidative stress that leads to decline. A small handful of walnuts as an afternoon snack, or some ground flaxseed stirred into your yogurt or sprinkle on your salad, is like sending a small, mighty army in to defend your memories. They are a concentrated dose of brain-loving nutrition that's both simple and deeply satisfying. And when your brain is being maintained by greens and protected by nuts, it creates the perfect, peaceful environment for one of the most subtle but profound brain boosters of all to do its work. That subtle brain booster is all about adding a little spice to your life, quite literally. This brings us to our final food, and it's one that might surprise you: turmeric. Or more specifically, the active compound within it called curcumin, which gives that beautiful golden yellow color to curry powder. This compound is a true marvel. It's one of the most potent anti-inflammatory substances found in nature. For your brain, this means it's directly targeting that background smolder and calming it down at a cellular level. But here's the secret to making turmeric work for you. It's notoriously hard for our bodies to absorb on its own. It needs a partner, and that partner is black pepper. Just a pinch of black pepper increases the absorption of curcumin by a staggering amount. So think golden milk lattes, curries, even adding a dash of turmeric and pepper to your soups, roasted vegetables, or salad dressings. It's not about eating spoonfuls of the spice. It's about making a regular, welcome guest in your spice cabinet and on your plate. Now, bringing these 5 powerhouses together might feel like a lot. You might be looking at this list: berries, fatty fish, leafy greens, walnuts, and turmeric, and thinking, how can I possibly focus on all 5 of these things at once? My grocery cart, my kitchen, my life, it feels overwhelming. And my answer is, you absolutely shouldn't try to do it all at once. That's a surefire way to get frustrated and give up. The beauty of this is in the gentle, consistent accumulation. This isn't a race. It's a loving ritual. Start with just one. Which one calls to you the most? Maybe it's the blueberries because you already like them. Wonderful. Commit to having a handful 3 or 4 times this week. Just that. Once that feels natural, not like a chore, then look at the list again. Maybe next week you decide to try a new salmon recipe, or you buy a bag of spinach and challenge yourself to use it all before it goes bad. The goal is progress, not perfection. What if you don't like fish? That's a very common hurdle. That's okay. The world of omega-3s isn't closed to you. You can lean on walnuts and flax seeds even more. You can talk to your doctor about a high-quality algae-based omega-3 supplement, which is where the fish get it from in the first place. The point is, there's always a workaround. This is about your journey, not anyone else's. The obstacles are just puzzles to be solved, not roadblocks. Maybe your obstacle is that you live alone and cooking feels like too much trouble. I understand that deeply, so make it simple. A pre-made salad mix with a can of salmon or sardines mixed in, topped with a few walnuts and a sprinkle of golden turmeric pepper dressing, is a magnificent, brain-healthy meal that takes 5 minutes and requires no real cooking. It's about being kind to yourself and clever with your choices. You have this entire map now. You know what the 5 key foods are, and more importantly, you understand why they work. The final ingredient, the one that makes all of this stick, isn't something you find in a grocery store. It's something you find within yourself. That final ingredient is a shift in your story. It's moving from someone who is worried about memory loss to someone who is actively, lovingly protecting their brilliant mind. It's about self-compassion. Some days, you'll eat the salmon and the salad and feel fantastic. Other days, you might just have toast and tea. And that's okay. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to be better than you were before. It's to have more of the good days and the not-so-good days. Celebrate the tiny wins. Did you choose walnuts over chips? That's a win. Did you add spinach to your smoothie? That's a win. Every single positive choice is a vote for the future you. The you that remembers names, that follows complex stories, that feels clear and engaged and present for all of life's beautiful moments. I want you to think about what that really means. It's not just about remembering where you put your keys. It's about having the mental clarity to truly enjoy a conversation with your grandchild without your mind wandering. It's about feeling confident enough to learn a new skill, to travel to a new place, to fully immerse yourself in the joy of your retirement years. It's about waking up feeling hopeful and energized, not foggy and frustrated. This is what's possible when you start to see your food as the most powerful medicine you have access to every single day. It's a journey so many are on, and you don't have to walk it alone. I would love to hear which one of these 5 foods you're most excited to start with. Is it the berries, the fish, the greens, the walnuts, or the turmeric? Tell me in the comments below. Sharing your starting point can be so inspiring for others and for me. If this conversation felt helpful, if it took away some of the fear and gave you a sense of hope and control, please do give this video a like. It truly helps this channel reach more wonderful people just like you who can benefit from this information. And if you want to join me on this journey of living a fuller, healthier, and sharper life, I would be so honored if you subscribe to the channel and click that little bell so you don't miss our next conversation. Remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're right here, waiting for you to claim them with every delicious, brain-loving bite you take. Here's to your health, your happiness, and your incredible journey ahead.